Hey Jason, what's up?
Very good. Timo, how's it going with you and Stratovarius?
It's going quite good, I would say. It's been kind of a busy the last, 8 days, hell of a lot of interviews and everything. But it seems to me that most of the journalists they really like the album, and it's of course very nice to hear this. But
Well, that's a good thing when the journalists wanted to talk to the band because of the album. And Nemesis,
yeah,
this album is sounding very good, very fresh. Now,
thanks man.
very good stuff. Your writing of the album, how long did it take you to get this one developed and the ideas?
I would say that most of the stuff is written last spring. Songs that I was involved in writing, like Out of the Fog and this other one, Stories Over the Ballad. I had the main or the first idea for those songs maybe. The other one was a year ago, but then a little bit more than a year ago. But the other one came like what was it, 2-3 years ago. But we finished the songs this spring, and everything else. I think also Matthias wrote his songs like early last summer, so they are pretty fresh stuff. Of course, it all happened basically after we got the new guy behind the drum kit, Rolf Pilve. And when we knew what kind of drummer we had, of course that helped, the whole composing process. So
Today, when you look at artwork in general, what do you think of artwork? Because you guys got a great artwork with the angel, with the sword, and stuff like that. What do you think of artwork now? Is it as important as it has always been?
I think it's like it should describe the music and the band somehow, but then again, I don't see that it has to describe all of the songs. This in this case, it was the same dude who did the cover for the last two albums, for Elysium and for Polaris. So Hungarian guy called Jula Havanchak. So I think it was Jens who was in contact with him, and he sent some information about the album and of course the title itself. And then this guy came up with a couple of ideas, and this was the last final idea for the cover, and I think it's pretty cool. It's like a little bit more. Well, in the past we had like lots of blue. For some reason we had lots of blue blue on the cover, but now it's more like red and yellow and stuff. But it has to be. I think in our case it has to be sort of colorful anyway. So we once had this weird-looking black cover where there was this golden lily in the middle of it, but and before that, it's been like very often very colorful colors. So covers. So I think it's just part of our thing to have like this cover. That's how I see it.
The new colors of progressive and power metal.
Could be. I think to me this just fits. There's of course it's cool to have some flames and some destruction, but then again, I see this cover as that this angel. It's not only an angel of revenge, but it's more like an angel who brings justice. So if you've been a nice person, you will get something good. But then again, if you have behaved not so nicely, you might get something bad for yourself. So it's just what we deserve. And probably the artist was thinking that we have not been treating our planet so nicely. So maybe that's why in his opinion, that the angel is revenging the humankind. I don't know if she's gonna kill all of us, but it doesn't look so good.
And for the album title Nemesis, whose idea was it to come with this name?
That was our guitar player Matthias, and I remember that he came up with the idea after our festival show in Spain, and we were sitting at Barajas airport in Madrid, and then I don't know if he had the idea before, but then that's when he was suggesting it, and then we all liked the idea, and then that's why I chose the title. But it's not a theme album anyway, so it's just a good name for the album. And I don't know if it's a coincidence or what, but very often Stratovarius, we've had like only one word for the album, and very often now that I think about it, we've been having a title which has 7 alphabets on it, so I don't know why, don't ask me why, but it just happened.
Well, sometimes stuff like that is a good thing.
I think so, yeah.
It makes the people think as well.
Yeah, for sure. at least it made me to think, you know.
Well, that's good. Now, Timo, finding the right order of tracks, to present this album, how hard was it to look into this? Because the music's all very powerful.
Yeah, like you might already know, it's sometimes very difficult to choose the order of the songs. But when Matthias was in the studio just before mastering the album, we were talking on the phone because I wasn't in Helsinki at the time, and then he was sort of suggesting the song order, and I totally let him to select the order because he produced the album and he knows. Of course, it's like you have to like think of in what key the songs are, and if you can't put only like the first 5 songs, they can't be ballads. But then again, we don't have many ballads. There's only one ballad on the album, but it's sort of important. I think in our case, it's very often that the first track is maybe not the first single track, but it has to be sort of like a good opener, which in this case means it's sort of a fast song, and a powerful song. It doesn't have to be the best song, but it has to be like that. It's like punch in the face, like here's the new Stratovarius album, dig it or not, So that's the way it is. But I think he spent a lot of hours also choosing the song order. But then again, he's been closest to the music since he produced the album, so he knew the songs by heart, and it was sort of easier for him to do it than for me.
It's like opening a concert, also.
That's a good question. It's going to be more and more difficult year by year, the more albums we've been recording to, get the proper set list and to choose the songs from the album. But I had the feeling, I haven't done it yet, but we're going to play one special sort of a cruise thing on a boat 2 weeks before the album comes out. It's like sort of a pre-listening party for the journalists in Europe and for some fans. So we're going to play 2 songs from the new album on that boat. But then later when we are touring, I would like to play more songs, because I have the feeling that we could easily play maybe 7 or 8 songs from the new album live compared to when we had Polaris or Elysium out. Back at the time I was thinking that okay, we can play 2, 3 or 4 at the most songs from the new album. I think there's quite good songs on Nemesis that we could play live, but they're not very easy to play, especially for Matthias, who's our guitar player. There's so much going on in the guitar world, like
for sure.
A lot of, so it's gonna be difficult, but I know that we're gonna pull it off easily when we've been rehearsed. But yeah, but I don't know. I think we're gonna play at least. We could play the first song, but we could also play, I think, Unbreakable and Halcyon Days. But then again, we could play Nemesis or whatever. There's so many good songs.
Because it's like that too when you do look at the whole catalog of Stratovarius. I mean, you guys got a lot of albums to choose from, and to present these songs live, and to decide which is the right song at a concert should be a little bit harder now to do.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. So of course, I mean, the fact is that whatever we play, we can't please all the fans, because there's always people who are like asking, why didn't you play this one? And then on the other hand, there's some people saying that why did you play this one, because you played this one on the last tour as well. But I think there are certain songs that we probably need to play almost on every show, otherwise we would get too many complaints. But it's gonna be more and more difficult. I mean, how many albums? I think the band has made like 14 or 15, depends on how you count them. If you count intermission in, then it's gonna be 15 albums, and I've done like 12. So it's oh boy, it's gonna be difficult. But I think, of course, in an ideal world, an ideal situation, it'd be nice to play like 2 tours or 2 shows in the same city. Then we could change the set list a bit. Let's see how it will be. We're gonna have this European tour and then maybe dates in South America and then some summer festivals, and it would be great to play some gigs in the US, but we don't have any concrete plans yet. But we might have some time to do it in the autumn. But before that, it's gonna be too busy anyways.
you guys on Facebook have created a quite accomplishment. 662 Ks now of followers, likes. That's a very, or either the biggest number for any power metal band to acquire that many fans.
Yeah, I've been surprised every time I check it out that so many people like the band or the page or whatever. But it's amazing, and it's even, I don't know. I mean, we've been trying to be sort of active when it comes to homepage and Facebook especially. I think it's a good way to spread the news and to get some interaction between the band and the fans. And we even launched kind of a video competition where we are like searching if there's any Stratovarius items that the fans might have, and then they would be willing to lend us some stuff for our next video. So the idea is to have some fan related Stratovarius stuff. If it's something that is made by the fan himself, or is it something weird bootleg or whatever, so we could maybe use that on a video, and that would be like sort of a nice thing, because then if I would be a fan of some band, which of course I am, and if I would have something special, let's say from Iron Maiden, they would do the same, I would gladly send, a picture of my Iron Maiden thing that, probably nobody else might have, and then I would see it on the video. So, but this is the latest competition, what we have going on, but it's without Facebook, of course, or internet. It's kind of difficult to organize, but let's see what stuff we will get. We haven't been. It's not over yet. I think it's still going on for some days. When Jens and I, when we are back in Scandinavia after this promo trip, see what stuff the fans have, and then what we can do with it.
That's an interesting idea. Now, Timo, you have a great interviews and all that you do, and your album is very good, Nemesis, and
Thanks,
glad to promote this album.
Hey, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. Maybe whenever we play, come to see us live if you have a chance.
For sure. So you have a great one, Timo, and we'll talk to you another day.
Thanks, man.
All right.
Bye.